What's going on, guys? This is Ash with Legacy Barbecue, and today I'm going to show you something pretty easy, pretty basic when you're getting into smoking meat, and that is how to do a pork butt, at least how I do a pork butt. First thing we want to do is get this thing trimmed up. I've got about a 9-pound pork butt here. Just picked it up at a local grocery store. Nothing special about this one. So when I do a pork butt, this is what I like to do. First thing I do is flip it over, okay? I'm gonna get to the fat on the top. And big question in barbecue is, do I leave the fat on? Do I take the fat off? Do I do it up, down? I take this fat off, especially when I'm doing it at home. My philosophy is this pork butt has tons of fat in it, and I want to get the meat as seasoned as I can. So I can't do that with this big thick layer of fat on the top, so I'm going to take it off. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Get you a good sharp knife and just take some of this fat off. Now don't, you can throw this stuff away, but this stuff makes great sausage. So I'm going to hold on to this, and maybe we'll have another video on how to make some sausage. But I want to show you what I would do after I get all this done, okay? I'm going to flip her back over. You've got two sides to a pork butt. You've got this side, which you can see right here, has almost like a little loin that goes across it. This is what we call in competition barbecue your money muscle. If I go pick out a pork butt for competition, this is what I'm looking at. And you can see this one's got a gouge in it right there. It may not be too bad. I could probably trim it out, but if I was using for competition, I'd probably just go to another butt. But we would trim this part out. I'm not going to do that tonight, but I am going to trim some of this fat out around it. I'm going to take that big chunk out right there. Usually you've got a gland, and this one does. You can see it right there. It's got a little blood on it, and I want to take that out. That's not good eating. I'm not going to do too much more trimming to this pork butt, but what I will do is flip it around, and now I'm at what we call the horn end. The horn has the bone. You can always tell the horn because the bone's right here. So we've got a ray of fat that goes right through here. And is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife right above that fat, and I'm just going to start opening it up. Just go nice and slow. Got another gland back here I want to cut out. I just want to open that up. Just like that. I don't want to go all the way through, but I want to make like a flap, just like this right here. You've got a lot of silver skin. You can see there's a lot of fat, there's a lot of silver skin right in this area, right in here. And I want to just clean that up. If I don't clean that up, my rub's not going to penetrate. I'm just wasting rub. So, ain't going to be perfect. Just take the majority of it out, just like that right there. Now, is what I've done is I've opened this up where this would have normally been exposed. I can get some rub down in here and season this part of the meat. And I'm going to season the back part of this flap too. So, you get it's all about just getting the flavor where you need it. So, I'm going to trim this up just a little bit more. And what we'll do next, after I get it all trimmed up to my liking, I'm pretty much done, but I'm going to clean up some spots I might not be able to see. I want to get it injected. And some people ask, why injection? Well, I like succulent, juicy barbecue. And what these phosphates in this injection are going to do is help break down that meat. It's going to add moisture into the meat and help it cooking, and those moisture is going to come out of the meat as it cooks, and that's going to help it keep juicy at the end. This is a homemade recipe. I'm using homemade rub and I'm using homemade sauce. I'm going to give you those recipes down below in the description. I'll put all the recipes you need for the sauce, for the rub, everything I'm using. The only thing I will cheat on is the injection. Because commercial products do use phosphates, and I want to get those phosphates into my meat. So what I'm using is Cosmo's Q's. Shout out to Cosmo. He makes the best injection I have been able to find. I've tried several commercial injections. I love Cosmos, just Cosmos pork injection and Moisture Magic. The Moisture Magic is what makes it happen. So what I have is half a cup of pork injection, Cosmos Q, and I have just 2 tablespoons of Moisture Magic. You want to put this in a bottle before you put liquid, and you want to give that a good shake. Just get it good and combined. Then I'm going to add 1 bottle of water. I'm going to put this in my shaker bottle and give it a good shake. Make sure you got every little bit dissolved. And what I like to do is get one of these handy plastic containers, pour this right down in here, just like that. Ain't too worried about the rest of it, it's all froth. And get your injector and start doing work. I'm using a spit jack. Love this injector. I've been using it for a little over a year now. Just works great, and just start going to town. But what you want to do is go about every inch and go in a pattern. It's going to hold a lot of moisture, and that is going to give us a good end result. Alright, so now that I've got this thing injected, I would flip it over, do the same thing to the other side, and once you get it injected, you're just going to want to take a paper towel and just pat off the excess. Get it dry again. Now we're going to get it seasoned. Alright guys, I've got my pork butt injected here. Got the Cosmo Q juice down into it. It's full of liquid now, ready for moisture, ready for smoking. I've went ahead and fired up my smoker. I'm using the Traeger today, and I've got that set at 275. I like to cook at 275 for the butts. I've cooked 225, I've cooked 250, I've cooked 300. 275 is my magic number with pork butts. So what I've got now is my homemade spice rub. The recipe is right down below in the description if you want to try this. This, along with the sauce that I'm going to be putting on this, is going to be amazing. It's a cherry barbecue sauce. This is going to go hand in hand with this rub that I've got made up. Both of those recipes are right down there in the description. Please try it out. Let me know what you think. So I'm going to take my rub and I'm going to give it a good liberal sprinkling on the back. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, you should use mustard as a binder, and, you know, I've done it. If that's your fancy, go for it. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. What I like to do is get my butts rubbed. I just give them a nice little pat. Make sure the seasoning stays on, and then I'll let them sit. I'll let them sit out at room temperature for a good 25 minutes before I put it on the smoker, and it gives it an amazing color. That rub starts to penetrate down into the meat, and it starts to bleed out that juice. You know, that salt in this rub gets down into the meat and starts to pull that juice out that we just put in there, all that good injection and the natural juices of the pork butt. And that's my binder. I don't use one. I just let the rub do the work for me. This is looking good to me. Give it a couple of pats. I'm just going to let it hang out here on the counter for about 20-25 minutes. I'm going to go check on the smoker, make sure everything's going great out there, and we'll come back. We'll get this thing on. I'll show you what to do. What's up, guys? All right, my pork butt's been hanging out here. It's looks fantastic. Give you a good idea of the color there. All I did is just let it hang out. put your rub on, let it hang out, and you're gonna see it looks fantastic like that. No binder needed there. I've got the Traeger fired up to 275, and I'm just gonna take this out of my pan and directly on the grill. Now I'm gonna give it about 2 hours. I'm gonna close the lid. I'm not gonna touch it for 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm gonna get a spray bottle. Half apple cider vinegar, half water. That's all I use. A lot of people say apple juice, peach, white grape juice. I've used a lot of different things. When it comes to the spray, all you're really doing is just trying to protect the moisture. I found that just some simple apple cider vinegar and water does the trick just fine. All right, guys, our butt has made it to 165. Now I want to wrap this up. It's took a lot of smoke. You can see it's got a beautiful color here. That's what I want. This thing's looking great. So now I'm going to wrap it. And there's a lot of ways you can wrap it. A lot of people do the traditional honey, brown sugar, whatever you want to do, the squeezed butter. This is the way I do it. Get you a thing of the blue bottle spray butter. And give it a good spray right here on the bottom. Take some of our rub that we had mixed up and throw it now, right on top of that butter. Now we're going to put the butt right on top of that, and we're going to do it again. A little more rub right on top. Wrap it up good and tight, and do double layer. Always do a double layer of foil. When we're done with it, it's going to be full of juice, and it's going to be some good barbecue. So back onto the grill. We're going to put the probe right in it. We're going to wait till it goes to 203 degrees. That is the magic number with pork butts, 203 degrees. Just give them a good soak. Let them hang out. And I got my probe in now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these things go until they reach an internal temperature of 165. And when they reach 165, I'm going to come back out, I'm going to wrap them, and I'll show you how that's done. And here's what we're going to end up with. That is a good looking butt, and this is the best part. When you can take that bone and it comes off clean like that, you know your money. So now, all we got to do left is just pull it. Get you some good hot gloves. I've done it many times without hot gloves, and it will burn your fingers. My dog's hungry. Hold on, guys. Test it out, Hoosier. He likes it. Look at that. Just as juicy and moist as you could ever want it. That moisture magic and that injection we put in it sets this stuff off. Now, you heard me earlier talk about tubes. That's a tube right there. Right there in the bottom of that pork butt. That's some good eating. That's almost like the bacon. So that's that. I'm going to finish processing this up. I'm going to sauce it with some of my sauce, and I'll show you the end result. All right, guys. Barbecue's ready. I went ahead and hit it on top with a little bit of our rub that we made up. I've got it processed up, so the only thing left to do is hit it with our cherry barbecue sauce. And I'm just going to take our squeeze bottle and just squeeze it right in, just like that. And give it a good mix, and you're done. Fantastic recipe. I urge you guys to try it. If you do try it, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you think of it. If you've got a way that you like to do yours, let me know. Maybe we'll try it out on a video one day. So that's Legacy Barbecue Pulled Pork. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'm Ash, and you guys have a great day.